Hello, hi everyone. Welcome back to Under the Hollywood Sign. I'm Faliex and this is Michelle, my co-host. Hi Michelle, how are you?
Hello, hi.
So today we have a truly exceptional guest with us. She's an accomplished composer, pianist, teacher, she look at me right now, conductor and musicologist with a career that has impressive at it's inspiring. She holds a PhD in musicology, a Master of Arts degrees in musicology, a Diplôme supérieur d'enseignement de piano, and a Bachelor of Art degrees in musicology. But the list is of her achievement is simply too long to sit here. From performing at prestigious recitals, sorry for my accent, and festival, to composing for film and theater productions, she's done it all. Her work has been recognized with numerous awards, and she's even authored a book on the legendary film composer Alex North. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Sanya Henderson to the show. Woo!
Woo! We're big fan.
Welcome, Sanya.
All
Thanks
right.
to be here.
Thank you for
Alright.
inviting me to the show. This is a real pleasure, and I cannot tell you how happy I'm to be here.
Well,
You're very welcome.
We're delighted, and we've got so many questions. I just don't know where to start right now. But let's get started. One of the questions that we ask our guests usually is about their journey, when they started, how they started, their journey through early career to where they are now today. So if you want to take a few minutes and tell us how you got started in music and how come you became who you are.
Well, the journey was pretty long, to become who I am right now. But the beginnings get me back to my, native country, now North Macedonia. It used to be part of Yugoslavia then. And I got educated. I grew up. I was raised there all the way until I graduated with bachelor degrees in piano and musicology. But I grew up in an artistic family. My grandfather was actually the first artist with the academy diploma in Macedonia. So the history of art in Macedonia pretty much starts with him, Mikhail Shoilev. And then my dad and my mom, I'm pretty mixed. My mom is Croatian. My dad fell in love with her when he studied in Zagreb, and he brought her to Macedonia. And that's where me and my sister, I have one sister, Kamilia Shoilevska, were raised in a pretty kind of stable home environment. Piano started very early. I mean, we had piano at home because my mom used to play. My dad was a violin player, even though that wasn't their profession, but they were very musically inclined. My first memories is falling asleep in the concert halls with them getting me to the concerts of Macedonian Philharmonic. So yeah, music was always around me, and it wasn't long before I started actually playing with that piano. Who was there? My sister started, but she had kind of other aspirations, artistic, better than sitting and just practicing. And me, once I got to practice, they saw that I wanted to do it, and they just enrolled me into the music school.
Was that a natural affinity,
Yeah,
you and the
natural,
piano? You
yes.
just started
Then,
to
yes.
put your hands on that thing and you
Yes.
liked it.
Yes, I mean, today I see, I teach a lot, and I see all different kinds of approaches, and parents sometimes push their kids to practice. I have never had that problem.
Right,
I loved
right.
it. I wanted it. I dreamt about it. I dreamt about being concert pianist since I was 8, 9. So there was no other choice. It was always that. And yes, I finished my schools there, high school for performing arts, Ilya Nikolovsky-Louis, and then the musicology and piano. And in the meantime, I had a little trip to Russia. I got the scholarship from the Russian government, but that wasn't my cup of tea. And I returned back home, hoping for something different. So that's when I actually enrolled
How
in
good was the
musicology.
music conservatory in Skopje, in Macedonia?
Well, I have to tell you, our education there, it's amazing. It's so strong, and so it's very academically strong. So I got that foundation that you can rarely get anywhere. I mean, I studied music theory and solfege singing. and note reading and all of this since 6, 7 year old. Before I even started playing piano, we had to know everything about music. And then the piano teacher takes you and just works with you like 2, 3 times a week. So it was very intense musical education. And at 14, I already knew this is it. So I didn't even go to regular high school, but I just got to the performing arts school and giving concerts. At 14, I already played with the Macedonian Philharmonic. And it was fun. I started competitions. My teachers were very ambitious with me, and it was always that adrenaline rush there. Just go, 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 go. And of course, we were influenced by the Russian school, and it was a tough work and lots of hours of practice. Like today, I tell my students, "Oh, I used to practice at your age like 6 hours a day," and they're just like, "What?"
That's warming up.
So we have some picture from.
Wow,
early.
you're on the left,
So
right?
if you want to.
Didn't change much, right?
The hair is the same. Is that your sister?
No, this is my class of musicology. This is when I came back actually from Russia. I decided to not enroll just a piano performance, but actually to start studying music from a different angle, kind of to research, to become a scholar. And because I always have interest that's kind of wider and deeper than just black and white keys. I wanted to see, I wanted to know history. I wanted to know aesthetics and sociology and acoustics and all this kind of stuff. And this was an amazing class. My mentor that you see on this picture is Dr. Toma Proshev. He was one of the biggest Macedonian composers in Macedonian history, and he was very cosmopolitan. He studied with Nadia Boulanger in Paris, and he was the director of the Zagreb Philharmonic. He was really a world-class composer and person in general. So we learned a lot from him. And these are my colleagues in the freshman year of my musicology class. We learned how to write music critics, how to write research papers, how to build our style of writing, and he was on the top of it. He was amazing.
Wow.
4 years, and then I did my master degrees on the theme of Macedonian piano music, or piano music in Macedonia was the theme of my master's degree.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so that was my early age.
So what about this one?
Oh, this one.
I like that one.
I don't know. You know, they say don't touch the Oscar if you don't want to get one. So, but I touched it, but I still don't give up on the idea.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, anytime now.
Awesome.
But yeah, this is in the studio. This was like, oh my God, this was an experience of a lifetime. This is 1993, I came to, actually 1994 maybe here, I came to LA with the goal, and that is to research, to get a little bit away from just the classical music, borders, and to kind of research a little bit wider. So my interest became music in film, TV, theater. And here I am in the private music studio of the legendary composer Alex North. Yeah. Who was the main subject of my research, his work and his life. It was really 7 years I worked on the research of his music, and if you believe it, I had the score of his Streetcar Named Desire, the original, in my hand. I mean, it's like, it was, my hands were shaking when I was looking, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Spartacus, Cleopatra. Yeah. At that time, when I did the research, everything was still home. His late wife, Anna North, gave me complete hospitality and open doors.
Complete access to everything.
Yes, to everything. And I even slept there sometimes, doing day after day after day. Now, this doesn't exist anymore, okay? All of this is in the library of the Academy of Motion Pictures in West Hollywood. And that's where most of his scores are kept, among other places. And this is this is also a legendary picture. When I came to Los Angeles and I started working on the research of Alex North's music, I became a member of the Society of Preservation of Film Music. And then the leader of the society, Jeannie Poole, she was so instrumental into including me in all the activities of the society that I became like very avid presenter on the international conferences. I had lectures about Alex North's music, about the scores, about the importance of music in the films and dramaturgy. And this is a picture with the legendary, another composer, David Raksin, the composer of Laura, who was also very active in the society. And this is 1995, I believe, my first Film Music Society International conference.
Cool.
And I call these my two angels. This is on the left is Anna North. That's she was the second wife of Alex North. And on the right is the lady who brought me into this country. I owe her so much. That's Dr. Beverly Grigsby. She was a professor emerita of composition and theory at CSUN, California State University in Northridge. And that was actually the school that invited me here from the academy where I used to work in Serbia at the time to do the pre-doctoral research on film music. And she offered me hospitality again of her home. I lived almost a year in her house, and she was my mentor. She checked everything that they wrote, everything that they researched, and actually my book that was published later after I defended the PhD is devoted to Dr. Beverly Grigsby. Yes. And this is the second film music conference. This is again with Anna North. I gave another lecture here, 1998, I believe.
Okay, cool.
Very well, very well.
You were surrounded by very
Interesting
exceptional people.
Yeah.
Yes, I have to say,
Yeah.
I worked for what I've got a lot all my life. I'm a hardworking person, I would say.
Yeah.
But all of that would not matter if you cannot share it. So if you have knowledge and you don't share it, then what is the use of that knowledge? And in order to share it, you have to have, like today, I'm so grateful to be here, because if I don't share, I don't have place to share or people to share with, then what is it for?
Right.
So it was very exceptional opportunity for me to be involved with such an amazing people who had such big heart and such a desire to help and to give chance to somebody to live their dream.
Right.
So that was Anna North, that was Dr. Beverly Grigsby, that was Scott Henderson, all of these amazing people who made my life possible here, at least the beginnings.
In Los
Yeah,
Angeles.
that's great.
So you've been a performer as well. Not only you have this amazing background in musicology and research and all these diplomas, but you're also a pianist.
A great pianist. And because we have some video, so I'm going to play it and you can speak on top of it.
Okay.
So people can understand and realize who you are.
Well, this was one of the concerts I gave in Paris during my specialization. I was a stipendist of the French government, so I had amazing scholarship from the French government, and I used it well. Okay, so studied with Marian Rybitsky at the École Normale. I'm also a chamber musician, so I love playing with other people, nothing like a teamwork. And this is Tamara Markovic, who is an amazing mezzo-soprano. She still lives in Serbia. She had an international singing career. Now she's the director of a music school in Subotic in Serbia. Amazing talent. This is one of my favorite pieces. I love Impressionism. I actually I'm a specialist in French music, and it has such a special touch. And this is when I returned from Paris from the specialization and my graduate studies. I played in Skopje, Debussy stamp. And this is a later work. I continued researching Impressionism, and this is Ravel, one of the most amazing pieces, Alvarado del Gracioso from the cycle Miroirs. This was fun because this was a concert where I actually played with my teacher, Snezhana Anastasova Chadikovska, who was my first piano teacher. And after all these years, she just performed before me, before I came on the stage for this piano marathon. And this is the most recent one, actually.
From your latest album.
Yes. So this was actually a special opportunity given by the Steinway company.
I didn't know they were in Pasadena.
We have the Steinway galleries in Pasadena. There is one in Beverly Hills too, West Hollywood. But I'm connected with the Pasadena branch, and we give recitals there, and they appreciate the teachers and the performers. And this is actually in their space, in the Steinway space, one earlier concert with amazing guitar player. He's a flamenco, amazing artist, who was actually a father of the student I used to teach, Hade. And yes, we had fun. He has a great performing career at this time around in the city.
Oh, so you're conducting now.
And cannot have enough of learning about music, you know. This is another Ravel, one of my favorite composers, Jacques d'Enféric from Ma Mère Laure. So I had an opportunity to work at the UCLA Extension on conducting classes with the great professor Jonathan Merrill. And this is like one of a lifetime opportunity to play with this. This is musician on orchestra, musicians totally professional, the one that you hear playing on all the movies and scores. They are very busy and very proficient. And yes, this is Copland, Appalachian Spring. And I got it. I'm ready for this.
Did you enjoy that a lot?
I enjoyed it a lot because, you know, you feel in control of your own music and you feel like, okay, now I got this. You know, I really, whatever I say, they're going to do.
But that was a new thing, right? You haven't done that before.
No, because, you know, you always, like, when I worked on the scores with teams like in theater or film, you're kind of employee of somebody, right? You don't have the last word. But when you conduct, this is it. What you do, what you say, that's what you get. So for people who like, you know, having control over their work, this is a great job, and I love it.
Awesome. And how did you transition into composing? At what age did you start composing, and how was it a natural process, or you were commissioned to do something?
Yeah, that was a very special time of my life, actually.
Did you think about it?
Yes, when I think about it, you know, I always wanted to compose, even when I practice my piano, you know, you practice, and then when I sit and just improvising something, in the future, this is going to be my concerto for piano and orchestra. Then I improvise, this is going to be my miniature for piano in violin. So anyway, I was imagining that when I was improvising and kind of making plans, but it wasn't until I actually started working at the Academy of Arts in Novi Sad, Serbia, where I was an assistant professor of musicology, history of music, that I actually sat at the piano and started composing. The influences were big, you know. I have to say, you know, my sister, Camilla, she is a journalist and filmmaker, and she actually is a scriptwriter. One of the teachers I wrote the music for is the project we are looking maybe forward to work on now, the Pearl of the Red Sea. So she was one of the big influences for me to kind of stretch my views and say, you know, what do you think about this? What do you think about, you know, writing for the movies? Or what do you think, this score, have you heard the last score of Ennio Morricone? And yeah, it kind of got me, you know, and I started composing. It wasn't until like the 90s where actually a friend of mine, again, a director who worked at that time in the National Theater in Subotica, who invited me and said, Sanya, let's go have fun. You know, you're going to play keyboards. I said, what keyboards? Yeah, Yamaha DX7. I said, I've never played keyboard in my life, electronic keyboard. You know, I'm a pianist. He says, it's going to be so much fun. You're going to see when it's kind of a whole new world. So I went there and I worked actually with the guys who later on wrote the music for the movie who was nominated for Oscar by Milcha Manchevsky, Before the Rain, sometime in the, you know. And anyway, we were a group and a team, and I discovered the beauty of teamwork. Oh my God, I loved it. After all these years of just being by yourself, closed, and, you know, working with different artists at the same time, I fell in love. And from that time afterwards, I never stopped looking for that kind of exciting part of musicianship.
Do we have any examples that we could show about yeah?
Yeah, we have some proof of your scoring. Let me see. So this is for the movie Killing.
Killing Ariel, yeah, this was the DVD that was released 2008, right?
God help me. The demon was back.
The whole neighborhood like this?
Nearest house is 30 miles. And that's a gas station.
Bummer. I guess that means no nightclubbing or dancing, huh?
My God. Nancy?
That was different.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have nightmare for the next 2 weeks.
It wasn't that bad.
Another one,
Yeah.
very
This
different.
was totally different.
Yeah.
This was, yeah, the
You can
first
speak
one-
about it, yeah?
Yes.
we ought to get
The first one was a production directed by Fred Calvert and David Negron, and thanks to my friends Danuta Tomczynski and Michael Bernard, who was the main actor, I got that gig. They really trusted me after I worked on the theater play with them. And this is directed by Gavin Carlton, who was again the director with whom I did my first theater gig in Los Angeles, He Who Got Slapped. So again, it's a teamwork, right?
Trying to find me a posse. How about you? You there in the red. You got a posse too?
Reckon there's no use beating a dead horse to death.
What you staring at for? Come on, let's get him move on. Get that horse.
So long!
Yeah, this is much more
Okey-dokey.
sparse and
Harmonica and guitar, he always works.
Well, you call if you hear or see anything.
Will do.
yeah, it's very different. If you want to work for different projects, you have to be prolific and versatile
Yeah.
and be able to really adjust the
Excellent.
style.
Do you prefer composing on the
Crawl on the
piano
Red Sea
or you compose
was filled
on?
with inner powers.
It depends. It depends really. I have all kinds of different experiences. These
Men
are
form ability
for
and strength.
um,
Is hidden
Pearl of
from
the
the
Red Sea.
destructive world.
this is where I have a little bit
Can we
more.
change destruction into creation? Can we change the
So
meaning
this is my
of
a
power?
little bit of the exotic.
This is
you
your,
know,
Yeah.
my
your background.
Eastern
Eastern-
Mediterranean.
Your background is coming
Eastern
through.
Yes.
West.
Even in Killing Ariel, you heard it when you go, dun, dun,
Eternity
dun, dun,
manifested
dun,
in
that's
the
7/8. That's my Macedonian
time
thing,
and space.
So, yes, my sister is also a great
Cool.
documentary
Very
maker, so
well.
lots of chances to use the music
Very well.
there.
Well, we will do have a lot of tracks from you in the music partner library, anyways. Things
Yes,
that
I'm
you've
grateful
done.
for that. That was, I think, once I kind of, because I kind of am reviving now my career after a little bit a longer break because, I wanted to raise my daughter. And after I did Killing Ariel when my Angela was 2, I said, this is not a work for a mother with a young kid. I mean, I
Right.
was 5 months locked in the studio. I had hardly time to kiss my baby goodnight and good morning. And
Right.
I said, oh, no, I don't want to miss this.
She's a pianist too, right?
She's a pianist and singer, but she's actually an actress that does all of this. So,
Wow.
yes, she's actually she used to go to Berkeley Film and Theater. Now she's going to go to the film school at USC starting this year.
All right, we
Yes.
should book her for
Definitely.
soon.
She's an actress.
Before it's too
She's
late.
an
Before
actress,
it's too late.
definitely. A very knowledgeable and very talented actress with all kinds of different skills that I made sure she gathered. Got real.
All right. You've got some theater work, if I remember, as well.
Oh yeah. Before the film, there was the theater, you know. So,
Okay.
So,
Well, it makes sense. You know, it started like
yeah,
that.
so this is like a little compilation of things. As I said, you know, like the director from Looking for Posse did He Who Got Slapped. And again, my friend Danuta Tomczynski that I met through some different circles said, you know, you should come work with us. And that's how it started, He Who Got Slapped. And at that time, I actually enrolled the film scoring classes at a UCLA Extension, the film scoring program, and it was great. I worked with great Robert Drasnin, who was a musical director of NBC at the time, and we learned a lot. And we had live sessions of film scoring, and we asked him, so, Professor, when are you we're going to be ready to start working on this? He says, when you get the job, you're ready. And just as we talked, then a few weeks later, here came the job, and I was ready, okay? So, and from there came the work with Ray Bradbury Pandemonium Theatre Company that came again as a consequence of my work on production of Kurt Weill's and Bertolt Brecht's Threepenny Opera in the 2001 with the Theatre West in Hollywood. Yes, I got a job. I really looked for the job. I wanted to get back to theater. After I finished my PhD and published the book, I said I want to get back to the composing and the theater scene. And this is a great picture with late Ray Bradbury with the cast of October Country. I believe it was 2004. And the director of Threepenny Opera, Charles Rome Smith, another angel of mine, I shared with him that I compose. And once he heard my music, he says, oh, this is mine and nobody's else. So you're coming with me on all these theater projects. And then he would hire me for every theater play that he...
Wow, this is cool.
Yes, this is amazing, actually, And then I had a chance to meet Ray Bradbury and, showcase my music for him. And he loved it. And it was amazing, to be around that talented cast of people, each one, and the actors and everybody was amazing. Yeah, good times.
Lovely picture.
This is from Threepenny Opera.
Yeah, I was
Me and the
wondering
girls. Me and the
because
girls. Me and one of
the
these.
title was the war.
But they are the horse and the... not me. I'm the pianist. I'm the pianist. I was the pianist. Yeah. Yeah. And that was the director too. And this is a beautiful picture. Now, I love this picture. This was after my first, I felt so good. I felt so Hollywood at this time. This was the first play I composed music for Ray Bradbury. It was Time of Going Away. And on the left, you see Dana O'Connell and Susie London, who did the sound design for the sound, actually editing and everything, the sound for the theater play. And I did the original music. Yeah. And the play itself was made out of 3 one-act plays. And so it has like 3 stories of Ray Bradbury in the play. And this was after the opening night in the Court Theatre in West Hollywood. And this is, I'm there, and next to me is my biggest supporter, Scott Henderson.
We say hi to Scott.
Yes.
My music teacher. Hi.
Yes. I love Scotty. Scotty has been my partner for 27 years. He's been my really shoulder and my amazing
what
support.
An incredible teacher, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I didn't know that at the time. It
was about the good looks.
Yes, it was the looks that got me.
the rock and roll attitude.
Yeah, it was an interesting combination. The classical doctor and he on this rock and he's like a wild guy. It was very interesting. I mean, we really kind of had a good run.
Opposite attracts.
Yes. I mean, I mean, we learned a lot from each other. I mean, there was no album that he did that I wasn't like checking every note, and there was no performance or thing that they did that he didn't check for me. So musically, we supported. We didn't play together because we were from two different worlds. But yes, and even though we're not married anymore, I mean, we are just like the best friends, and that's friendship for life.
Great.
And we raised a great daughter.
And your daughter,
which we will invite very soon.
Yes,
very
she's
lucky
gonna be
which is already invited on the show.
Yes, she's your next guest. wow, this is my time. You see, this was when I was the musical director, the pianist. I mean,
Yes.
that score was written for orchestra. I don't know if you know, it's kind of small orchestra, but I played the orchestral arrangement on the upright piano. The piano was shaking like this when I played it. And it was funny that the reviews were just mixed, some are good, some are okay, some are, really good, but they always mentioned the mighty piano playing. It's worth visiting, Theatre West. So it was like really great boost for me, in that direction. I sure practiced. I sure got these people to sing.
Yeah.
This is Meg the Knife and Tiger Brown characters. Yeah, this is my three-penny opera. My start, and this is Chuck's, amazing director and amazing person. I'm so grateful to him for giving me the opportunity to actually compose and to make it public.
Great.
Do you have any music performance from Three Pennies, by the way, or just
No,
pictures?
No, from the not
It's
from
theater,
this.
yeah.
It's a very, I was thinking, when you asked me to send some materials, it was very interesting for me. These days, these generations have everything, we record, we have social media, we have
Yeah.
phones, and at that time, to get the recording was an event. And can you believe it?
Yeah.
I don't have any recordings from that time. It's just, thank God, I as a scholar, I keep, the clips from the newspapers, and, I have a good bibliography. I'm very, I make sure that it's everything written down. But not really visuals, except some photos, but that's it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was
Very
amazing.
well.
Amazing.
Can we
experience.
can we
We
talk
had
about
to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
it.
That reminds me the story about Charlie Parker, the great musician. There was someone that was recording, that was following him forever and was recording into wax a lot of their concert, but sadly, most of the recording were lost.
Oh yeah.
So we would have had a lot more recordings at this recording, survived the process,
Yeah.
which would be great. Anyway, let's talk about achievements and awards, because not only you're an incredible concertist, pianist, director, musicologist, but you got a lot of awards as well.
Well, that was mostly from my earlier part of my career. It came as a part of being a competitive pianist.
Right.
So I was going to competitions every year with a new program. You have to get out in front of the professors and, all these people who are going to judge you, judges, and you play your thing. And I was lucky that year after year after year, I just got all these first prizes, and I worked a lot, and it continued throughout my whole kind of uprising that I was active into performing through competitions. And then I would get out of the Macedonia like that and go further into former Yugoslavia to perform. And it was a great way to kind of show presence in the field.
Right.
Yes. And then, of course, I was a great student, and lots of awards came from there. And yes.
Did you enjoy the time that you spent in France where you were studying?
Don't start me. Oh my God, that was.
Oops,
well,
wrong
see,
question. Oops,
no,
oops.
that's my dream life. That was my. I mean, I sometimes I say that's the best year of my life, but it's not. I don't want to say it because I had other very good, But I would say, it's like all of these things I've done through life. It's kind of like different lives within life. And that was a different life, and it was a life that was almost like a dream. And people ask me, why didn't you stay in France, And I said it was too good to start from zero. So I came as a, with a great scholarship from the French government. I mean, I had the support financial. I had great teachers. I had Paris, which I fell in love with. Oh my God! I said I had a chance to live in the most beautiful city in the world and the ugly city in the world. If I think of LA, in a ways, but no, LA is my love.
Oh,
It's like, but yeah, Paris. Just being in a École Normale and being surrounded by some of the greatest pianists and teachers was an event on its own. And not to tell you how much education I got from seeing all the best artists in the world. I mean, Pierre Boulez was a conductor. That there was Marta Argerich, like I saw her several times on stage, like Vladimir Ashkenazy, Sviatoslav Bik. I mean, all of these people I had that I just dreamt as a pianist, as a kid to see, I saw them there. And
Wow.
I had pass, and I was there 3-4 times, in a concert hall, Théâtre Champs-Élysées, Salle Gaveau. I was subscribed there, 4 times a week at least. First row there.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, that École Normale has such a tremendous reputation.
it was amazing. And, I played often in the Salle Courteau, for which I do not have recordings, but my professor, Marian Rubitsky, loved to send me out there and to perform. And some of the, in the same class was Frederick Chu that later on won the Chopin competition, and he's like amazing world-class pianist. So great people from all over the world, and I have to say that I have really friends all over the world thanks to that experience. Because Paris is not just Paris. Paris is the world, Very similar like Los Angeles. Los Angeles is not America, Los Angeles is the whole world. So
melting pot.
I love that.
of
I love that
everything.
energy, because, there is nothing worse than, I actually listened to that show that you guys hosted with Claire Dodin. She was amazing. And she said something.
Hi,
that
Claire.
hi, Claire. I'm a big fan.
We are too.
So she mentioned something that I really related to. She says, when you're in Europe, you're labeled that you're something and that you cannot be anything else. And that's kind of very limiting for me. And that's why I could not stay in the kind of environment that's going to say, oh, you're a pianist. You cannot be a musicologist.
Right.
Oh, you write books. There's no way you can be a pianist and a musicologist, not to mention composer or a theater personality and film. They're gonna do what? It's impossible, or entertainer, God forbid. No, you have to be one or the other. But when I came here, I and the thing is that, it's a smaller environment. Even in Paris, it's like people know you and they kind of see you the way you are at that moment, and they cannot imagine that you can be something else as well.
Right. They put you into an Excel cell, and
exactly.
you stay there.
And that's why I think Los Angeles, opened my heart like you cannot imagine. From the first moment I stepped in 1993 in LA, I felt like I came home. I love the energy. I love the openness of the city. And I love the fact that, you can be anything you want to be. Nobody's going to look at you. What? You compose?
Yeah, exactly.
But you don't have a degree in composition. Well, I have a degree in so much studying that I can
You have
take
many
another one.
degrees. There's not
It's like-
one. There's like 10 of them.
So, if I can say, Alex North was a great film music teacher for me,
Yeah.
just by studying tons of his courses.
Let's talk about him, because he's such a famous composer, and having composed some of incredible score for all those famous movies. Were you commissioned to do that work, the book that you wrote on him?
That was it came, I wanted to do, that was my goal. When I came to LA first, I came with the idea that I'm going to do PhD in film music, and that I'm going to choose composer who was relevant at the time for the change, from Ernst Korngold and Max Steiner's type, more like toward Miklos Rozsa and kind of newer wave of composers at the time. So again, I was lucky that my angel, Dr. Beverly Grigsby, introduced me to the people from the Film Music Society at the time, and then Ginny Poole says, so when you're among people, you hear things and you're told things. It says, I know this is the greatest opportunity, but Anna North, the wife of Alex North, actually was looking for somebody to, write a book on him, and he said, that's me. That's me. So how do you
I'm
go?
ready.
How Anna North? So I was actually invited to perform at a concert. I had a solo concert when I came the first year, and invited Anna North to come and listen. When she heard the type of musician I am, because people don't know, you're coming from some Macedonia all over the sea, you're going to write about one of the biggest American composers. So who are you? So that has been. So you have to prove who you are. And
Of course.
And that concert definitely that she attended. She said, you're the person to write about Alex. He would be so proud of you to do this. And I did it, and I was devoted to it.
Is the book still available today?
Oh, yes, it's available. You can buy it through my publishers, McFarland Company. Actually, it had a second edition. First, it came as a hardcover book. It was pretty expensive with all the pictures and all these first-hand materials, source materials I used as illustrations. The book is a scholar book, so it might, my publisher wanted to make it accessible for wider audience. So the first part is more like a novel, like a biopic, like a biography of Alex North. And then the second part is really detailed kind of scholar analysis of a few of his famous scores. And it's available. It's available on Amazon. It's available anywhere, you know. I don't know.
Oh, Spartacus.
That's part of it. Now,
we see that.
excuse me, but this is what a score looked like
Oh.
once upon a time.
Yeah.
You know, can you see this today? No, everything is digital.
Well,
Everything
we don't
is-
know how to read now.
Right. This was like, you
There's a
know,
sequencer.
Varinia's theme, main title. There were so many versions of it. And when I unpacked it, this is what it looked like. And there was a bed next to it and slept there. And I listened to the scores, and I was there like for weeks researching the score for Spartacus.
That must have
And
been amazing.
It was amazing, and you know, seeing how he uses the instruments and what comes during the dialogue, and how he, I mean, one of his biggest thing was actually the psychology to kind of slightly announce the psychology of the character without seeing that particular action on the screen, so he could go behind the person's mind with his music. So
Great.
it was
Fantastic
amazing.
composer.
And this is again the book signing. It was just before I gave birth to my daughter, 2003 December. And this is my mentor, Dr. Beverly Grigsby, to whom I devoted the book, as I mentioned.
Good.
And this is another friend of mine, Robert Townsend. He's one of the biggest film music producers. He just did some amazing shows recently. And Chuck, the director, I worked with. And these are all of my published. I mean, you know, you come from a foreign country. English is not your first language, and then you work on musicology. You know, I mean, I spent like 10 years to build style in my own native language, which was Macedonian, and now I come here and then I do this work in English. I mean, and
Right.
before that, I was in France, and I said, oh my God, you know, I must have been really brave at that time, and courageous, and kind of reckless, and said, you know, I want to go for it, but I have backup. I have my angel, Dr. Beverly Grigsby, to check on my writing. So,
Excellent.
and now I have my daughter to check.
All right.
So I
because
still
she was,
write amazing
She
stuff.
was
amazing
born
stuff.
here. Does she
Yes.
speak any Macedonian?
Yes, she does.
She does. Awesome. Well, that
I
will
bet
be a
she-
question when we have her on the show.
Yes, I made sure that she learned Macedonian.
All right, let's open a parenthesis on teaching, because you have a lot of experience on teaching over the years, and I think we got some materials. So
Yes.
oh, we're gonna see your students. All right, well let's go.
So let's hear.
Yeah, this is really highlights.
So that's your daughter, right?
That's my daughter, yes,
Oh.
practicing at home. This is one of, I mean, I have so many recitals. We celebrated like 25 years of annual recitals. This is all branch honors that my kids get as students. This is my Kevin. Here's my little virtuoso. Still teaching him. It's amazing. He was, I believe,
He's
10,
got, he's got
did
a
you say?
serious left
10.
hand.
Yes,
Oh my God.
natural performer. This is Truman. He's also known film production, you know, Berkeley. He studied piano. This was recent. This was, sorry about, I got this video, and it's not very sharp, but this was from the latest state convention. This is one of Arshan, one of the most musical students I have, this little one. Now, he's not little anymore.
How old is
This
he?
He's now in his 19, 20, but at this time he was 9. This is Sophia. She already graduated. She graduated engineering from Berkeley. Can you believe it? But she was an amazing student, Sophia Mireles. Love playing duets with my students, of course. Anytime I can get my hands on the piano, I'm there. I'm not this guy. But he's a genius. If I have met one genius in my life, this is this guy.
Wow.
His name is Mark Hong, and he got to the university when he was actually 12-year-old. He went from seventh grade to the university. And this is my daughter, playing Rachmaninoff, valued in C sharp. Amazing Angela, the love of my life. Hi, Angie. I know you're
Angie,
watching.
you're next. Get ready. We got questions.
This kid has worked so hard for her life. This is another of my students who, when I started teaching him, he said that he hated practicing, it was really boring. And I said, tell me how you practice. And when he told me, I said, I would die of boredom if I practiced like you did. So, this is again Axel. Couldn't resist. I mean, to play the minute wheels Chopin at this age is like, Wow.
Yeah. My uncle was a concertist and teacher, so he used to play those to me when I was very young. I loved it.
This is Greek concerto, two pianos. Mark was performing really well. So stable, so for him everything was easy.
And do you have a school or do you have a location?
Yes, I actually teach in my studio. It's a private studio. It's called Art of Music Studio.
Right.
And kind of, I made it kind of as a professional studio. I compose there too, and I teach. It's adjunct to my property, to my house, and I have lots of kids in and out. Lots of students, not only kids, but also I teach adults, and it's fun. It's fun to teach adults as well. But yeah, Art of Music Studio, we actually try to revive the, today's a big day because my updated, new formatted website, sanyahenderson.com, came alive today. So it's like completely redone, and I think it looks amazing on the desktop, laptops, and phones. So we did a great job. It was a young kid, Carly, who did the design. And but now the previous designer, actually, he's a great musician, and one of my greatest friends, Sasha Panic, called Mexico. He helped me through all of this, the web designing and stuff. I was probably one of the first ones to have a website with my own name. It was like 2004, 2005, and I had website at that time, but then it just needed reformatting. But during that process, we kind of lost the artofmusic.com because it was masking under Sanya Henderson, so we're trying to revive it. So don't worry, it's going to be back, artofmusicstudio.com.
So we'll put the link on YouTube
Right.
Yes.
After. Yeah.
I have one more question on teaching. Because I remember Scott on Henderson mentioning things when I was in class with him about the impact that teaching with the studio had on his life, and not to mention the impact that he had on ours. Did you find that it motivated you in other ways, or was it the gratification of seeing a student improving? What kind of impact did teaching had on you? Is that a tough question?
I'm really sentimental because, when I was young, in my 20s, I remember when I graduated piano, went to dinner with my Russian professor, Yakov Mikhailovich, and she said, "Sanya, what are your plans in your life?" And I said this, and I remember. I said, "I'm going to make sure that I'm going to go to get my PhD, so I never have to teach little kids." That was my answer. I was 22 at the time, and now that's my life. That's my parallel universe. Teaching is the way
it's
of
part of
thinking.
your life because you do
Yes.
so many other things at the same time.
Yes, it's like I live kind of in a kind of parallel universe.
And you raised a child too,
Yes, so
which is next on the show. But
I love that.
She has to
I
come
love
now.
oh my God.
She's a great daughter too. So yes.
We'll set up the piano.
Yeah, actually, that we should have
watch
done
out.
it.
Oh, actually, she sings and plays. Oh, she's a singer to die for. Oh my God.
Okay.
I want her to be in a musical movie like La La Land.
All right. Well, you'll be invited as a guest.
Well, anyhow, yes. So when I start teaching students, and this is the deal, they come to me most of the times very young, very young.
Yeah.
So, like one of the pictures that I send you, or there's lots of pictures on my web if somebody's interested to see more. You see a picture with a kid who is 4, and then when she's 18, just the same
Right.
picture, next to each other.
Right.
And that has been the biggest joy of my life.
See them growing up
yes.
and
And
improving.
parents say, Sanya, if it wasn't for you, I don't know if these kids would stay like this, but you have taught them not only music, you taught them a lot about life.
Yeah.
And about devotion, and about determination, and about passion, and
Yeah.
about persistence. It's not only about music. And,
But music is life, anyway. So
for me it is. I cannot, I mean, it would really be hurtful to hear from someone that
Who said
I
that?
hate music.
Who
I was
said-
just like, it kills me,
Who said that? Sans la musique, ma vie serait une erreur. Was that Satie?
Probablement.
It was a French composer for sure. It was
C'est
either
possible.
Satie or Debussy.
maybe.
Yeah, I forgot all my quotes.
Which are both my favorites.
Okay, forget I said
You
anything.
will do your homework for next
I
time.
will do
okay?
my own
Yeah,
research.
Yeah, so you see them, like babies, their parents. I mean, that Kevin, that kid who played, I mean, I knew him since he was in the tummy of his mom because I taught his older sister. So I knew him before he was born.
Yeah, you feel like you have to lift them up physically and put them on the piano because it's too high for them.
I actually sit down with them. I'm very creative. I made a program that's called Introduction to Keyboards. I would have actually kids come at 3.5, 4-year-old with little keyboards. With the parents sitting like 4 or 5 kids with little keyboards on the floor of my studio, and I would teach them music since that age, and the programs were very dynamic, and from there the kids would go and start their private lessons. But I also
I want to do it.
I also
Do you accept adults?
I do actually. I have just about a new adult to start teaching. So,
But we're a
yeah.
bit loud. You is a drummer, I'm a guitar player, so we're pretty
Well,
loud.
let's
Both
make
of
music
us,
together. Why not?
both of
Relax,
us are
Michelle.
extremely loud.
Possibilities are endless.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but I also, it was important for me when I had Angela that she grows up with music. So I kind of changed like a chameleon through the music. It's always music for me. But from what angle, it depends on the circumstances of life. And at that time, when Angela was born, it was just about the baby. So I get actually certified by Kinder Music program. I in fundamentals of music. So I researched many programs, and then I started teaching kids from toddler years. Actually, my youngest one, sign language and music. So. And Angela was always part of those classes with me, so I could have her with me
So
all
you
the
could
time.
test things on her.
Yes, I first would text on her and my friend Lily, the flute player I play with in Duo Postinato. So she had a kid just a year after me, so I would always test. A test. Does it work on Una and Angela? On our
We'll
kids?
ask her about that.
I think they grew up pretty
I'm
well,
sure, I'm
surrounded by
sure.
music. What can be wrong but grow up with music?
I'm sure. We don't have that much time, so I want to ask you another question on your current project, because you have an album that came out about a year ago, which is fantastic. I don't
Yes.
know if you have any, this one, which is also available on Music Partner.
Yes. I made one little promo video about the album. It's on YouTube if people want to see it. This is actually a compilation of many years of work. These are, I wrote these pieces in different parts of life and for different circumstances. Like The Daydreaming is my first piano piece that I actually seriously finished it and I edited it. So for me, this was like transition toward my new life now, my new era in life. This is my
that's
first
your studio.
Yes, this is my studio. I have all
Awesome.
kinds of cool toys. Yeah,
Oh.
lots of keyboards. This is fun to me, my new keyboard. I have to say and thank my friend Scott Kinsey, from Tribal Tech.
Fantastic keyboard players.
Yes, Scott Kinsey was the one who was my guide into choosing how to update my studio. Of course, I've composed in the early 20s, but that was Giga Studio. No more Giga Studios. I had to update everything, and he was my guide, and he helped me a lot into getting my studio. So it's just a few things, but they're so mighty. I can do about anything I want with this, and I'm looking forward to it. Come on, people, I'm ready.
Excellent. Wow, excellent. Well, I encourage everyone to go listen to the album on Music Partner because it's a beautiful album, honestly.
Yes. And Music Partner, I cannot thank you enough for. Again, I have to thank my Providence to be connected with you, and you guys that you actually like my music. So, and you decided to even put it up there and fix it. The audio.
Marginally
I
improved
was
it.
just so
Marginally
impressed.
improved it.
I have to tell you one thing. It's like, to me, it's incredible. Today's musician has to be everything. Listen, I have all the background, all the schooling, but I didn't study to be an audio engineer. And today, it's just like one of requirement to be a music producer.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to, you have to have your studio, you have to know this, you have to know maybe 10 tracks. And I would say again, thanks to the teamwork, that's a possibility. I know a lot, but I don't know it all. So I'm looking forward to more collaboration with you guys because you did an amazing job with the tracks to update them and get them ready for broadcasting. So how much
Thank you.
we can
It
thank
was
you.
a pleasure.
I
yeah.
can thank you if we get actually the job is
Thanks
going
to
on,
you.
right? So
All right. Before we
Sure.
conclude,
Thank you.
any personal advice for aspiring upcoming composers or concertists or musicologists that
Yes.
what after these years of learning and teaching and playing and composing and writing and You must have some kind of advice. Do it or don't do it.
I'm just going to tell one thing. You cannot have it all. You cannot. You have to make peace that you cannot have it all. So, and you have to be, I think gratitude is the biggest thing, to be grateful for what you have. Dream for what you don't have, but be grateful. Because it's a blessing to be talented. It's a blessing to love music. It's a blessing to be able to do what we love doing. I always tell to my students, if you do in life what you love, you're never going to work a day in your life. So, there's not going to be retirement. There's not going to be job, in the means of 9 to 5. Your life is going to be your work. People say, why don't you rest? I'm resting. I'm freaking out my music. So what would I want more than that? So yes, just go with the flow and do because you love to do it. And things might come or might not come. But
at least you try.
Be very how to say out there, and know that don't be shy to show who you are, really.
Well, we encourage you to continue composing because we want to hear more and
yes,
we want to
I'm
feature
ready.
more.
I'm ready for work for hire. Just get me the work for hire. Come on.
All right, we're working on it.
Yeah, I'm thinking here. Energy is everything.
Exactly.
Very cool. I think that's about the end of the show.
Yeah, right on time. So thanks a lot, We really appreciate
It's
you,
been a
you
pleasure.
coming here with us.
We learned a lot.
Yeah. And we hope to see you with your daughter.
Oh, yes. Yes, you're going to see us all different places. I'm sure of it.
Okay, cool.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Philippe.
Sanya.
Michelle,
Thank you.
You're the best, and I cannot thank you enough for this opportunity. It was a pleasure.
All right. Well, viewers, hi and bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. And see you next week or the week after. I don't know. So, wait a minute.
Mark.
Hi, Mark.
So, this is it.